In today's Pravachan, Maharaj beautifully reminded us that true peace is not a result of favourable circumstances, but of a heart anchored in God's name. Many chase after wealth, fame and comfort, thinking these will bring peace. But as Maharaj explained, these are fleeting. Only when our mind rests in the Lord through Nama-smarana, the ceaseless remembrance of His name, do we find a peace that nothing can disturb. Maharaj often says, the mind that holds on to the name is beyond the reach of worry, fear or restlessness. Peace of mind comes only by Nama-smarana. An unperturbable peace of mind is the prime sign of a saint. Peace is disturbed not by external circumstances, but by internal instability on account of selfishness. There can be no peace where there is duality, a feeling of being different from God. A feeling of oneness with God gives real peace of mind. This is the very foundation of all spiritual quest. Wealth and popular acclaim are both transitory, and the sense of security and pleasure they may give are equally short-lived. Two things destroy peace of mind: regrets over the past and anxiety about the future. When we firmly realize the futility of either, knowing that both are as God dispenses them, then there remains no reason for losing peace and contentment. Another necessary thing to obtain stability of mind is good, virtuous conduct. In its absence, there can be no peace. Remorse will kill it. If we remember always that God is omniscient, that He is a witness not only to every act but also to every thought, there will be no possibility of an improper action. Virtuous, dutiful action is the very foundation of spiritual progress. There was once a sadhu who was completely attuned to God, immersed in Him. A kindly passerby found him sitting with the blazing sun fiercely beating on him in the face. He picked the sadhu up and put him under a tree in a neighboring farm. In a short while, people started coming there to see the sadhu, and the throng hindered the ploughing work of the farmer. So he picked up the sadhu and placed him in the shade elsewhere. The sadhu was, all the while, utterly unperturbed, being fully occupied in contemplation. So what is required for peace is not quiet circumstances, but freedom of mind from anxiety, uncomplaining acceptance of God's will, and absence of doership. Kings have fought, won or lost, ruled and died, and passed into oblivion. But the names of saints not only live on, but endure on the lips of everyone, because the saints were embodiments of peace. How can such peace be acquired? By nothing but ceaseless remembrance of the Lord, by unquestioning faith that everything that happens is by His will. Peace disturbed by the crossing of our desire or expectation will soon be restored if we immediately resort to Nama-smarana. Āṇḍāḻ, the only female Alvar among the 12, lived her entire life in the Nama-smarana of Lord Ranganatha. From a young age, she composed the Tirupavai and Nachiyar Tirumoji, each verse drenched in divine longing. One touching incident from her life shows how deeply she embodied peace through remembrance of the Lord. When her father, Periyalvar, discovered her wearing the garlands meant for the temple deity before they were offered, he was shocked and stopped her. But that night, the Lord appeared in his dream and said, "I love the garlands worn by your daughter before they reach me." For Āṇḍāḻ, this was no breach of temple rule. She was simply living in oneness with the Lord, constantly chanting His name and adorning herself as His bride. Even when others might have accused her or misunderstood her actions, her mind was unshaken. Her peace came from being immersed in the Lord's love, not from people's approval. This is exactly the state Maharaj described. Peace that is rooted in Nama-smarana cannot be disturbed by external judgment or circumstance. As Maharaj explained today, and as Āṇḍāḻ's life shows, peace is not found in running away from the world or controlling every situation. It is found in surrender, trusting that everything is God's will, and keeping His name always on our lips, whether under the blazing sun like the sadhu, or in the midst of misunderstanding like Āṇḍāḻ. Those who hold to Nama-smarana dwell in an inner silence the world cannot touch. Let us, from this very day, cultivate this remembrance, so that our minds may rest in that unshakable peace Maharaj speaks of. A peace that belongs only to those who live in God's name.